Hi, I'm Johnny from UltimatePaperMache.com, and I just now finished an experiment that I've wanted to do for a really long time. I wanted to make some silicone stamps that would create fur texture on my clay sculptures. No, I don't mean actual clay. I don't have a kiln, so I use either my do-it-yourself air dry clay recipe. I'm going to be doing some epoxy clay sculptures that can go out in the yard pretty soon. I know this will work really well for that. I'm pretty sure it would work also with polymer clay. Just stamp the texture right on there. I don't have any polymer clay, so I can't test it, but I'm pretty sure it would work. They came out really nice. The texture on some of these is pretty subtle, but I'm going to do a bear pretty soon, and it came out exactly the way I needed it to. I used fake fur to create my texture, but you could also use this with a fabric texture. You could maybe use it on a real fish if you wanted to. It'd work. It hardens really fast, so your fish wouldn't have time to get stinky or anything. And this would work really well for bark. Just go out and press it up against your actual tree, and it would create a mold that you could then use as a stamp right into your clay. I also want to mention I've been off of YouTube for a couple of months because I was busy painting my house and putting in some new windows and stuff. So I wasn't working on YouTube, but during that time I reached over 100,000 subscribers on my channel, and they sent me this really nice plaque. My grandson is totally impressed with it, and my grandson also contributed hugely to this video today because the product I tried first, a smooth-on product, in my first experiment did not work at all, and I didn't think I was going to be able to make some silicone stamps. But he told me about a video. The King of Random made a video about do-it-yourself ugu sugru. He made it out of caulk, some silicone caulk. It has to be silicone number 1. He said, real important. Some cornstarch and some food coloring, any color you want. That's really important though. He says that it's the water and the food coloring that makes the caulk get stiffen up really fast. But I spent less than $6 on my whole project, and I got 4 stamps already. I have enough stuff left for another 2. So this is not an expensive project. It is really messy, and you'll want to start out making really small things before you get a feel for it, because it's a lot harder to do than the King of Random said it was going to be. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, you want to do some little things first so you can kind of get a feel for it. But let me go ahead and show you how this was done. It's really cool. It doesn't take very long, and you end up with some really nice texture stamps that you can use on your sculptures. We're going to use some paper bowls because you do not want to put this goo in anything you're ever going to use again. So go ahead and use something that's disposable. We're going to put our cornstarch in one of them, and we'll put the silicone and the food coloring in this one. Now we also need a couple of other things though before we get started. You'll definitely need some gloves. You need your windows open and hopefully a breeze blowing through because it doesn't smell good. You'll need something to stir it with, and you need some fur. I'm going to use a little piece of this. I had a little bit left over from the failed experiment I did before. This one actually looks the most like bear fur, and I'm going to use some of this. Looks sort of like sheepskin, kind of, a little bit, anyway. So we're going to try that too. The King of Random fellow said that it's the water and the food coloring that causes the caulking to start getting stiff. So you might just be able to just go ahead and use a little bit of water, but I like the fact, first of all, that it's kind of fun to make it pink or green or whatever. But the other thing is that it makes it really obvious that you're mixing it up evenly. This is obviously not something we can use. It's too gooey, so we put it in with that cornstarch. It doesn't want to come out. Sticking to everything. I think you can see why you don't want it on your hands. I don't think that would be much fun. Really, really sticky. Now, one thing I've noticed when I'm making this, and that the King of Random didn't happen to mention, is that it can seem like it's stiffening up or getting less sticky, and then you'll have like a piece like this, you know, just a little, well, the cornstarch isn't really mixed in all that well, and so you'll have a little bit of the really sticky part kind of squirt out. It's hard to explain. You'll see what I mean when you play with it. But see, like this, it'll look like it's all getting mixed in, but there'll be little pockets of sticky stuff in there. And it stinks. It stinks really bad. Now, the timing of when you start putting it on the fur is a little bit tricky. You want it to be as soft as possible because that way it's going to have the best impression of the fur. But you don't want to have any of that stickiness still left on it, because if there are any sticky bits, they're going to grab onto the little hairs in your fake fur and they're not going to let go. So it'll pretty much destroy that piece and you'll have to throw it out. You won't be able to get it loose. But on the other hand, if you keep going too long, just keep working on it, or if you make the mistake of like answering the phone or something right in the middle of this process, then it's going to turn itself into fairly hard rubber, and then it won't make any impression at all. So there's a fine line, and that's why you really do need to kind of get used to it with these little pieces before you try to do something bigger, because it's not easy to catch it at exactly the right time. So this is exactly the right point. It's still soft, but there's no sticky parts still showing up. I'm trying to press down on it and not like pushing it this way. Okay, I'm going to let that cure for just a minute or two. I'll make myself some more, and I'll try it on this one. Did this one a few minutes ago, but it's coming off. Yay. And it does have some nice texture. It's very realistic. Most animals don't have hair that's like sticking up all over. It all kind of lays down flat. I like it. That would look really nice. We'd want to do like 3 or 4 of these and then use them randomly when we're making our piece, I think. But that looks really nice. Let's try this one. It's very strongly textured. I really was worried that this would get stuck and not come off of my fake wool, but it actually turned out really nice. So let's just see what this looks like. This one is the one that I thought looked like bear fur, the brown one. Definitely has some texture on there. The clay is really stiff, so I'm pushing down really hard on it. You probably wouldn't have to do that if you're using the air dry clay. Wow, look at that. That is pretty cool. Very nice. I wanted to test the stamps on the do-it-yourself air dry clay too, but I didn't have a project yet. So I very quickly covered a foam skull with some plaster cloth, made a few really fast changes in his bone structure, and then gave him a really nice big luxurious mustache, because, you know, why not? And then I covered that mustache with a very thin layer of the air dry clay so that I could test it, and I used 2 different stamps on it. The first one that I used was the finer textured one that I think looks like bear fur, and it worked, but it was so fine that when I tried my usual technique of adding some burnt umber to some glazing liquid, painting it on and then wiping it off so that it would leave just the color in the crevices between those hairs, the hairs just weren't thick enough to hold on to the glazing liquid, and it just didn't turn out quite as dramatic as I wanted it to. It would work really well, I think, on a piece where you weren't trying to use that particular painting technique, but for my skull's mustache, I just didn't think it was deeply textured enough. I did try the stronger, deeper textured one that looks more like like yarn, and that actually worked really well. If you want to keep your silicone stamp from sticking to the do-it-yourself air dry clay, just use your damp finger to put some water over the clay itself and smooth it out first, or get the stamp wet, and that'll keep the stamp from sticking to the clay. I'm really liking this. I think it could be really a lot of fun to play with. If you try this, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas that would make it a little bit easier and less messy, let us know that too. Go ahead and put a comment down below. Now be sure that you also watch the King of Randoms video so that you can see how he does it. It didn't look nearly as messy in his video as it did in mine, so maybe he has some tricks that I missed. Make sure that you watch his video before you do your own. And also, if you're interested in that air dry clay recipe that I mentioned in the video earlier, go ahead and watch this video so that you can see how that's done. Then go make something and come visit me, ultimatepapermache.com. I'll see you there.